Hello everyone, Hector Mendoza here. In this video, I want to share my settings that I have created for my dji Mavic Air 2. So these are the settings that I use. I'm going to provide you with this PDF right here. At the bottom of my video, you'll see a link to this PDF that you can have. What this PDF will let you do is review settings or get familiarized with your settings as to where they're at. So I already have a video for safety, control. This one is for camera, and I'll do another one for transmission and about. So these are very important settings that you have to use. So I'm not going to go over too deep into why I use the settings that I did, but it's going to be up to you as to what settings you want to use. So these are the best settings that I like. That doesn't mean that you're gonna like it. Okay. So here at the top, I have my drone. Okay. So um, I'll show you how I use this PDF in relations to my drone. So first of all, let me go ahead and get into my drone. So if you notice on the right in here, those three dots, that's where you're going to go to your settings. So if I click there, and so that's my safety, that's my control, this is the camera, and that's what the settings that we're going to talk about. So for me, I like using normal. I don't like this. This is good if you're going to be doing some altering your uh, your photos. Okay, so there's programs that you can use to uh, improve your highlights, your shadows, your middle tones, all that stuff. But if you don't need that, the best thing to do is just put it on normal. Now, as far as the coding, I use the H265, which is uh, it's the 264 probably has a little bit better coding, but the difference between these two are not that much in quality. Now, this one here is probably going to save you 30% of disk space. So this is why I use this. I've compared those two side by side, and I cannot see the difference. So same thing with format. You can use MOV or MP4. MP4 is a very, very well-known format. So you can almost alter this format with any program out there. MOV, there's not I'm not saying there's a lot of them, but you're going to be limited to which programs you're going to be able to alter. Now, the MP4 has a lower megabyte, it's going to be a smaller file also. Now, this video substitute, so if you turn that, oh, here, I gotta do that in my phone, excuse me. Okay, so if you turn that thing on, what that's gonna do is give you a title at the bottom of the video. So let's say this is the video. At the bottom, it's going to tell you how far you're up in the sky, how far you're away from, the distance, how far you are. There's a bunch of information. As the drone is traveling, it gives you all the information here. So I don't use it. Maybe in the future, there might be a reason why I have to, but right now I'm not using it. Okay. So if we keep on going and go to histogram, histogram is going to be this little square that gets put, like let's say if this was my monitor, it would put it somewhere like here. You can actually move it anywhere you want, but let me show you what it would look like. So if you, oh, I keep on hitting my monitor. Okay, so you see that right here? That's that little thing I was telling you about. So if you're a photographer or have been in the industry, in the graphic industry, then you would know what histogram is. I don't use it. Uh, well, I'll take that back. I normally don't use it. I do use it for special occasions when there's uh, too much light, not enough light. But normally, I'm going to be flying where there's medium lighting. Okay, so overexposure warning on that. What that'll do is going to give you another little box that will, uh, whenever the subject is too overexposed, then it's going to give you some little lines on the area where there's too much exposure. In other words, the whites would be too white. But I don't use that either. So what this three things do, they will put a grid on your camera. So your image is actually going to have, can you see that in the back? And then there's another grid, and then there's a dot. So let's click here so you can see what, oh, so that's what it's going to look like. Okay. Uh, so you use this when you have a horizontal landscape and you're trying to keep everything lined up, or let's say that you're flying your drone and you're trying to line up a building. So let's say you wanted that building to be lined up here. This is the center of it, and this would allow you to kind of, move your drone back and forth. I don't do it. Yeah, I always say I don't, but in certain cases I do. So let's go ahead and turn those off. Now, white balance, I use auto. So if you wanted to manually do this, you would click on manual. And so when I do use manual balance, I use 5000K. Now, again, it all depends on the environment. And for most cases, and if you're a beginner, which I'm kind of a beginner, um, I actually use auto, and that gets me pretty much what I need. So that's what all this stuff is right here. You don't have to turn on your drone to memorize where everything's at. Because when you're out there, you don't want to start going through each one of these things while your drone is out there, because your drone only has 30-minute battery life. Not just that, but you're recording and you're going to have to alter while you're trying to figure out what settings you want to do. You're wasting more time trying to figure it out while you're on the job site, or if you're doing it for fun. So as far as storage format, you have sometimes up to 3, but right now I have internal storage and I got SD card. Depending upon which one you select, is when you start recording it, the drone is going to put that information into each one of these things. For instance, let's say that I pick my internal storage. That's only going to give me 7.8 gigabytes of data. It's not a lot. I mean, for real small photographs and stuff, it's okay. But I don't think you're going to get 30 minutes of drone footage with that. Okay. So uh, I use my internal SD card. So all you do is click on one or the other. Now, let's say that you needed to format this. What you would do, and we're going to go ahead and format the SD card. it's, I mean, it takes seconds basically. Let's do the small one, okay? Because this is training. So we're gonna click on the internal. Then I'm gonna click here on format, and then it's gonna, you're gonna tell it which one you want. So I'm gonna select that. Then I'm gonna tell it to format. You'll see a gray. This right here, you see how it's gray? It's formatting, and then in a second you'll see it turn, and it says storage and location currently set to aircraft. So you need to confirm. Oh, here, confirm. I kept on hitting my monitor. So, but what I want, this is the one that I want to use. Okay. Now you have auto sync HD photos. I don't use this because I have a pretty big card. I'm actually going to get a bigger card because I'm starting to do a lot of drone footage. So let's say that you had a small card, or let's say you're using your internal and you don't have a storage card. So you have 7.8 gigabytes, right? Uh, well, it wouldn't matter back, but this what this actually does. While it's recording here, it's also storing it into your hard drive. So if you click here, as it's taking photographs or videos, it's making a copy of it on your hard drive or your iPhone. Okay, so but the quality is not as high. Okay, it's like a medium uh, resolution. But one good thing about that, let's say that you're out there and your drone falls in the ocean or a lake, or you hit a power line, or you don't know what you're doing, you hit a big eagle or a bird or something, and you destroy your video. At least you're going to have a medium size image of it. I don't do it, so I turn that off. And cache when recording, if you use this, so when you click here, you see an additional line, and it tells you what that's going to do. When the max capacity is reached, all cache files are deleted automatically. So and then you can set how much of that you want to delete. Okay, so what it's saying is, let's say you have 15 gigabyte storage capability, and you're already at 15 gigs. So the oldest photos or images or videos, they're going to be being deleted as the new imagery is composed. Okay, so I don't do that either, because as I'm done with my projects, I go in and I download this to a 1 terabyte SSD hard drive, and then I back that up. So I don't need to keep nothing on my drone. So that's all I wanted to tell you. Another thing I'm going to do in this video, I'm also going to provide you with um, a PDF of, here, let me see if I can find it here. And okay, I don't have it. Okay, oh, wait, give me a second here. I think I found it. Okay, so I have this manual, and I'm also gonna, give me a second. I'm trying to, here we go. I'm gonna provide you a link to this on one of my websites. Okay, so this manual will tell you everything about your, not everything, but a lot about your drone. One good thing that you can go to certain pages, like if you click here and I hit 3, that'll take me to my contents, right? On your contents, let's say if you want to go to flight mode, you see, You see how there's a hand there? If you see that hand, then you can go to that. But if you see this or you see that, you don't click on there, because if you want to get to a particular area, you're going to wait till you see a hand. Then if you click there, it goes right to flight mode, you see? Then to get back, you have to, obviously, well, the easiest way would go to, let's say, page 3. That's where your content starts. Or let's say you want to go to page 32, which I, at the beginning, I would always go to 32 and 33, because that gave me some instructions on how to use gimbals and how to do my settings. But I'm going to give you a copy of this PDF also. All you have to do is download it. Thanks everyone for watching my videos. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, I would appreciate it. It gives me more advertising, a better advertiser to come to my website. I can't thank you enough. I'll see you on the next video.